Taurus, I hope you guys are well. Let's go ahead and get into your reading for the month of November, the last bit of it. My apologies for not being able to get to you sooner. Things have been crazy on my end. So let's go ahead and get your energy out here. First card out, we have the Hermit. You may be dealing with a Virgo. Six of Pentacles. Six of Swords. So first of all, Taurus, what I want to say is, what's fair to you? Like, all spectrums, what's fair to you? What's the best for you? What makes you feel secure? What makes you feel happy? What is in ultimate fairness to you? This may not be coming from a particular source or person inside with the Hermit here. What are we looking for in regard to what is fair for us? What is equal for us? What makes us feel balanced? What brings us happiness? That type of inner balance, inner connection, interconnectedness. The Six of Swords talks about moving away from problematic situations. Here with the Hermit and the Six of Pentacles, what I'm feeling here is like an energy where we are looking at aspects of our lives, whether that be detrimental, ways that we view things, how we feel about certain things, literally where our money comes from, how we can't hold on to money, whatever it may be. What is it that we need to stabilize here and let go of? Because it feels like this is kind of a defining point where we are shedding some particularly thick areas of our lives so that we can come into some sort of newfound stability and capability within our lives and us just being people. Show me more for Taurus. Okay, I'm going to consider that upright. You have Death, exactly that. So transformational energy, moving forward. Where do you get real with yourself about what it is that you need to let go of? You cut out of your life intentionally to make room for new things. Show me more for Taurus, please. Some of you could be dealing with a Scorpio or a Virgo. There you are. Queen of Pentacles here, Taurus. It's about stability, patience, longevity, knowing what you want and going for it. Seven of Swords. It's not the easiest of cards to deal with. Seven of Swords talks about deception, lack, instability. In this card, it's talking about the Lord of unstable effort. I feel that that's more so indicative of where we're going in this energetic reading versus somebody screwed me over and, oh, I've been a victim and, you know, they cheated on me. Like, sure, somebody may have, but what I'm feeling here is like a need to basically call it quits on the things in our lives that dictate us to be in negative spaces where we just kind of languish and end up, maybe languish isn't the right word, kind of give up on ourselves in certain ways. It's needing to have patience in regard to the process of change here, needing to look at ourselves in ways that may not be easy to look at. How do we self-sabotage our experience? How do we make sure that we don't get what we want? It's about checking that shit. You have the Princess of Cups, so Page of Cups. Knight of Wands. King of Swords. At the bottom of the deck, you have the universe, which is the world. So, in this energy, Taurus, now that all the cards are out, you may be dealing with an air sign. You may also be dealing with a situation where you have to find some sort of ease within situations that deal with communication from people who need to basically open up. I feel that there may be a necessity for some sort of like transformation in a situation. if you're dealing with somebody who's in and out of your life, there's a point now, or if you can even be calling yourself out, basically saying, why am I in and out on my life? What am I, giving myself to and then pulling back? I'm not being fully committed to in my life. That needs to come to an end. That needs to stop. Some of you need to be more so aware of infusing creativity within your experience. Creativity is something that's very beautiful. And it can help us purge and grow. I've talked a lot on this channel about art therapy. I don't know if I said that in your last reading, but there's been a lot of situations in regard to these readings where art therapy may be something that actually could be beneficial to the people. So, it's infusing that energy. Some of you are needing to communicate or having somebody communicate to you, and there's kind of a discerning factor here. I don't know if this is a situation where you've been kind of discarded by somebody or mistreated by somebody and there was a separation, but either way, it's basically looking at everything. You might want to check out Scorpio's reading, just because there was I don't know, for some reason I don't know if that resonates with you, and I don't know why I'm telling you that, because now I'm trying to find, well, why would it resonate? But something's saying tell them about the Scorpio reading. So I don't know if you want to look at the Scorpio reading, you may not, but it's basically being real about how we go about things and how we transform from situations that have been kind of sticky and painful. So let's go ahead and pull some cards here. All right. So for the Hermit, you have the Two of Wands and you have Justice coming out quite vigorously, adamantly. You can't really see that. Two of Wands, Justice there. Here, let me just move this. So what is fair for you? Again, kind of the highlight when I first started this reading. What is the thing that is going to make you happiest? What do you need to look within and change so that you can actually have transformation in a situation? Which direction do you want to go in, Taurus? Do you want to keep holding on to things of old, or do you want to basically get some new stuff in your life? And I'm not talking about books, and I'm not talking about a car. I'm talking about changing your perception, changing the understanding of who you are, moving forward into life, into a different space. On a spiritual note, like this is about self-assessment on a spiritual note. Which direction do you want to go in? What makes sense for you? What brings you happiness? Does meditation bring you happiness? Does, drinking water bring you happiness? I don't know. That sounds like a stupid suggestion, but when I was little, if I couldn't remember something, I would drink a glass of water, and I convinced myself, I trained myself, and I believed 100,000 million % that if I could not remember something, all I would have to do was just drink some water and it would come back to me. And it did, up until I was a teenager, and then it all went to shit, and I don't know what happened. We grow up, we have hard times. But it's like how do you reprogram your energy to bring forward a sense of peace, well-being, and prosperity in your life, Which direction gives you that? Which direction is fair for you? You have cards flying out, like very, very quickly. So the Six of Pentacles here, we have the Eight of Cups in reverse, and we have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, with the Four of Swords at the bottom of the deck. So whatever this is telling me, it's basically mentioning that you need to have a period of healing that comes through here now, and I think that that's going to be self-appointed. The Eight of Cups is going back to situations, oftentimes emotional. Doesn't necessarily just mean you're going back to a person, but it can talk about going back to emotional situations of turmoil, things that we need to piece through and haven't been able to do so yet. It's like we touch on it, we go away from it, we walk away completely, and then we come back to it. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's basically talking about, figuring ourselves out, learning ourselves, with the Wheel of Fortune reverse, that's kind of where I'm paying most attention to. A lot of people see that card and they say, oh no, bad fortune, and, you know, my luck has fallen. That's not it. You know, the Wheel of Fortune talks about cycles. In reverse, it talks about letting cycles go, letting problematic situations that have been on a loop for you in your life, things that you keep coming back to, emotional situations. It's getting away from them with the Six of Swords. It's moving away from problematic experiences in your life. Where do you need to basically step within your own power, Taurus? Where do you need to give yourself that fairness, that equality with the Six of Pentacles? It's an equal give and take. It's a reciprocity within life. You know, you open up energy so that things can meet you halfway. When we're shut off and we're hurt inside, you know, and just holding off, like, things have a hard time penetrating that shell. But it feels like there's healing happening. It's just the process. Show me the Six of Swords for Taurus, please. Show me the Six of Swords for Taurus. Okay, you want to come out clearly. I don't know what you are, but you want to come out. King of Swords. So this is about fairness to yourself. It's about getting down to what makes sense for you on an emotional level and mental levels, all encompassing. It's about being very clear in regard to what you choose to maintain and what you choose to release. There's a fair amount of transformation here, but you need to basically clear up a lot of the things that you're kind of going back towards, whether that be addiction, whether that be ways of thinking, emotional ruts that you kind of can't get out of, Taurus. Eight of Cups here talks about returning to that. And more so than anything here, I know that Cups, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, love, people, what I'm feeling here is emotions and feelings and the necessity or drive and desire to venture back into things that are painful for us, that kind of, you know, with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, it's basically checking it, especially with the King of Swords. It leads to new beginnings and opportunities, whether they be financial or not. It's a new sense of stability of self within the self. Show me the Death card for Taurus. You have the Magician for the Death card. This is triumph over situations that have been problematic for you, things that you need to basically let go of in your life. It's allowing things to transform here, okay? It's basically looking at where we are self-sabotaging ourselves and cutting it out, being aware of that, you know. What is that for you? Is it food? Is it gambling, sex? You know, is it, I don't know. I don't know what that is for you, but whatever it is, it needs to be cut out and changed. You have the opportunity to do that now. And for the Death card and the Magician to be showing up here, this is basically energy that you can't really shirk. You're going to have to step into it, Taurus. You know, major arcanas that show up, it's kind of like, you don't get much say there. This energy is for you. It's presented here as a lesson, and you get to step within that role. If you shirk it and you stay away from it and you ignore it, it's going to come back again. But I feel here that there's a fair amount of observation on a personal level that has gotten you to this Magician point with the Death card. This is like, all right, I'm ready for things to fall because I've got what it takes to move forward in this new phase now. With the Hermit, I've done this work. I've settled within myself. I've healed. I've gone through things. And I've looked at what makes sense for me in the most positive way. Do you want to keep going back to emotional disruption, problems, areas of lack in your life, feeling out of control? You have opportunity here with the Magician and the World here, the Universe card. It's about change, transformation. You have the King of Swords here twice. The reading ends with the King of Swords. Some of you may be getting rid of a King of Swords person. I don't think so. I feel like you're dealing with that type of energy of standing within your clarity. Show me the Queen of Pentacles here for Taurus. Show me the Queen of Pentacles for Taurus. So the Queen of Pentacles, you have the Knight of Swords. Now, the Knight of Swords is a card of honesty. It's a card of getting down to the nitty-gritty, getting to the meat and potatoes of a matter, the meat of a matter. It's also about communication. I don't know if you're dealing with an air sign. You have a lot of air energy here presented as court cards, so you may be dealing with an air sign. Somebody may be wanting to get something started back, but I don't know if that's really relevant to you or not. I feel like your pursuits are more so personal than anything. It's harsh communication, quick communication, being honest about what you want. And I can also see this as being honest about what you want in regard to, so much so that you allow things to let go. You allow things to change. That's difficult. It's easier said than done. A lot of people don't do that because they get in a rut. They believe that this is the limitation that they live in, and that's it. You have to change that. You have to crack your illusion. Show me the Seven of Swords. You have the Sun coming out for the Seven of Swords. Things that you may have been dealing with in your life that have been unfair, you know, if it is a partner and they've lied on you, cheated on you, lied to you, whatever it is, this is finding that information out. It's basically communication about that. On a personal note, it's where we are, where we steal from ourselves, where we, oh God, my mom used to say, beware the self-swindler. Beware the self-swindler. It's somebody who lies to themselves because they don't want to step into their power. They don't want to accept things. They want to keep things a certain way. So they will keep themselves at a minimal level, lying to themselves because they don't have the courage to experience more. It's a self-swindling action. We take away from ourselves. We don't give ourselves opportunity here. The Seven of Swords basically is like with the Sun, it's like blowing the top off of it. We don't have to deal with that anymore. When I say we don't have to deal with it anymore, you have to take the actions to heal it. You have to take the actions to change it. It's not just going to magically change one day. You take the action. You clear that energy up. And if it's somebody else, there's communication here to clear it up. I don't know if you're going to end up with that person, but there's energy and communication here to clear it up. Show me the Princess of Cups. So you have the Seven of Wands here in reverse for the Princess of Cups. Now, if you are dealing with somebody who if there is an apology being communicated to you, it may be an end to a fight. It may be an end to a relationship entirely. Sometimes the Seven of Wands, did I say Seven of Swords? It's Seven of Wands. Sometimes the Seven of Wands in reverse basically talks about, I give up entirely. I don't care anymore. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with you. It's kind of done. You know, sometimes it can just talk about getting out of conflict. Sometimes here with the Princess of Cups, this is basically the Page of Cups, where it's a card of communication. It's a card of apologies sometimes. And if that's coming forth, it gives you closure here. So that's a positive thing. And I want to say this though too, because a lot of people put their lives on hold for closure from another person. Please don't do that. Please don't put your life on hold in regard to another person getting their shit together, or, you know, trying to find out whatever information you can from them. You need to move forward in your life. Other people do not dictate how you experience your life. They can play roles in how we experience our life, but don't let them dictate your actions and your progression. Show me the Knight of Wands. There you go, Seven of Swords. So if somebody's dealing with somebody shitty, there you have it. But it's about finding clarity and peace within that. Some of these, okay, maybe this is why the Scorpio reading was coming up earlier. They had an energy here too, where somebody was basically wanted to come forth and communicate. It was a situation where there was a fair amount of connection and love shared between both people, or experienced but not shared. And that was another factor of that reading. Experienced in the situation, but not shared with the partner. In fact, they put them away. They put them at arm's length. They kept them hidden. You know, there was either some sort of other thing going on in their lives, or they just didn't want to commit to that at that point because they were sowing their oats or doing whatever the hell they wanted to do. But either way, it left a really bad taste in my mouth as a reader. It was not something that was of a higher level of energy. It was very self-serving and manipulative, and it left somebody very painful. But the sad part of it was the person who left and disregarded everything ended up feeling a change of heart, a change of understanding, and wanting to come back. And now they have a different sense of self, a different sense of their emotions in the situation. They want to communicate that. I'm feeling levels of that here if you are in a situation that sounds like that. But this reading also gets very intermingled within like the personal progression of the situation of the person, how we get out of this mess. If you've been on hold for somebody to communicate with you, they may have communication on the way, or it may be happening now, but either way, you're seeing somebody for who they are. And like the Scorpio reading as well, it's too far gone. There's too much that's happened here. And like the main focus now is to heal the self, to deal with your own situation versus dealing with another person. It's almost like a situation of lost love, which is sad. If somebody pushes away love and then comes back later, can't guarantee that people are going to be waiting for you. For the King of Swords, you have Temperance. So in a relationship situation, this may be, because I'm getting both relationship and personal pursuit to get out of this, to clear the energy, to heal, but also on a personal situation, dealing with a person. Temperance card is about healing things. It's a card of reconciliation. It wants to communicate. It wants to balance energy out. I feel here that you're needing to balance your own self out, Taurus. I don't know if venturing back into this is going to throw you off again, because it feels like you're trying to get away from it or let it go. You're moving on from this person. If you are dealing with the King of Swords, you're moving away from it. Now, to flip that on a personal note, you're getting clarity in a situation where you can cut things away that don't make sense for your life anymore. You may get closure verbally from somebody, and that's great when it happens. But if it doesn't happen, don't put your life on hold. You have a lot more here to change. Change is coming with the universe. I'm just going to put that there, okay? Under the universe, you have the Empress. This is Taurian energy, daughter of the mighty ones. This is very, very beautiful energy, but it's about being within yourself. It's about transmutation. It's about moving forward in life in a prosperous way. Abundant energy, feeling enlightened, feeling emboldened, feeling gorgeous and just radiant in your own life. Holding on to old energies, whether they be about a person or holding on to energies that are about your old toxic self, that's a hard energy to attain when you're in that space. It's about rebirth and transformation, change, the Death card. At the bottom of the deck here, you have the Fool. So this is about new beginnings. I don't know if some of you are going to be dealing with another person and giving them another shot. I feel that it's important to pay attention to what you've already experienced in this situation and be conscious of the things that you've dealt with. Be conscious of the progression in the healing process. And in the space that you're in now, would it be detrimental to travel backwards by giving a person another chance? Or has there been already too much damage done? That's kind of the Scorpio reading. There was too much damage done to even go forward with much, but there was the deep desire to communicate and connect again. That's the clincher. So let's go ahead and get oh my God. Okay, so you have okay, I don't usually like the romance angels, but I'm picking them for today because they feel like they want to come out and talk. So you have attraction, love yourself first, finances and career. And at the bottom of the deck, you have let your friends help you. Ask for and accept support from others. Taurus, I feel here it's really important for you to pay attention to this first. Love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. I don't really care about you being romantically attractive. Maybe you do. That's not the focus that I'm feeling is important right now. What I'm feeling is more about stability within your life. And I don't just mean dollar bills. I mean emotional, spiritual understanding, newfound stability within those aspects of yourself. It's kind of an all-encompassing message, and it's a big one. Attraction, I would say be careful about attraction because you may be led astray here. I would go with the progress of how you've been evolving and how you've been growing versus an attraction. An attraction is fleeting. Your progression is something that stays with you because it's newfound, it's learned, it's perpetually growing. Attraction. I don't feel that great about attraction. Show me attraction. You have Six of Wands in reverse and the Fool in reverse for attraction. You do have the Eight of Wands at the bottom of the deck. This may be a situation where you're dealing with somebody where you do have communication about a new direction in regard to them, but I think there's already too much damage done here. The Five of Swords underneath the Eight of Wands. This person has to address a lot of things if they are to come back into your life, if you are dealing with a person. Some of you, this is a entirely personal pursuit in how you change your experience as a human being and ascend to a different level of understanding and awareness within yourself. But the Fool in reverse, the Six of Wands in reverse, this is a no-go. It's literally just attraction. I don't know if you maybe need to look at your situation and see if the entirety of that situation was blown out of proportion based upon a base attraction. That can happen as well, and it gets very confusing because we get entangled with other people, especially when they're in our lives for specific reasons. These soulmate energies, these people who are like, they blast the top off of our experience and they make us look at ourselves and long for them and whatever it may be. But like, the whole point of it is to turn us towards ourselves so that we can heal and move forward. A lot of people don't want to hear that. A lot of people just want to like, you know, what about this? I want my bro, I want my girl. Let's be done with it. Like, let's go out. Like, they don't want to dig deeper. Please dig deeper. Finances and career. I feel that that's definitely an energy that needs to be paid attention to here, Taurus. Yeah, you have, for that, you have strength and you have the Prince of Pentacles. This is about being diligent in your life. It's about going after what makes sense for you and not shaking, not faltering. It's going after things that take time to build, Taurus. I don't think that that's going to happen with this person, but I feel that if you do get some sort of communication or clarity or, you know, closure, it'll give you that next step. I hope that some of you can move forward without that next step. I hope that some of you can move forward without that clarification should it not come. But it feels like that's present here. Love yourself first. Two of Cups. Two of Cups. So, Two of Cups, I know a lot of people look at it and say, oh my God, it's lovers and people who love each other. But, you know, when it's turned on yourself, when it's turned as a position for a self-reflection, it's how do we give compassion to ourselves? How do we learn to love ourselves? Where in our situation are we loving ourselves? And how can that be, you know, basically up for improvement? Nothing wrong with that, but I think this whole energy is about showing ourselves compassion and love and nurturance. Show me, let your friends help you. You have the Tower. Some of you, the situation, I don't know where you are in your lives, but some of you may get a little bit of a bump or a shake in regard to how things go. I don't know if hearing from somebody is problematic for you and if it sets you into like a downward spiral. That might be a possibility. And some of you, this literally will be, you're changing your life so much to a degree that you may need to seek out people that are connecting with you. You may need to seek out people that are supportive of you and that can help you along. People that genuinely love you and care and want the best for you. Nothing wrong with that, Taurus. So let's go ahead and get a crystal wisdom healing oracle deck. Show me for Taurus what energy needs to be heard by Taurus. What does Taurus need to hear? Okay. So you have graphic smoky quartz. And you have soulmate. Now, before I get into soulmate, because I know people are jumping up and down saying, no, it's my soulmate. I'm your soulmate. The milkman's your soulmate. We're all soulmates. If we're in each other's lives and we're learning from each other, we're all soulmates. You don't get just one soulmate. It's a multitude, and you choose them. These are the people in your life. You've all been basically like, you're all kind of the same cloth. We choose these situations and partners in our life. Those are the soul connections. Those are the soul contracts. These are the people that we choose to be with. And oftentimes it hurts. People don't like to hear that. They think, oh, soulmate, we're going to run hand in hand on the beach together, and we're going to get married, and we're going to have 10 puppies and a kid. Like, I don't know what the fuck your desire is, but it's not about that. Soulmates are people who we experience in our lives who crack us open. They break us apart so we can rebuild ourselves, so we can fine-tune our soul, our experience. And these are the soul group people that we commit to. We choose to being and playing out these roles with them so that we can have a positive outcome in our lives. A lot of people don't want to see that. And you don't have to believe that. I believe that. Okay, so let's see here. Well, soulmate is coming out first, so let's just go ahead and read that. Soulmate, the twin flame. Two crystals side by side call in a twin flame, a complement to your soul. This is what people mean when they ask for a soulmate. A twin flame bonds two people together, bonds two people in an intimate relationship, or unites you with the higher part of your soul. You yearn to be loved, but does this come from a black hole you need to fill? Black holes can be filled only from the inside. By loving yourself fully and integrating different facets of your being, a twin flame means embracing deep intimacy and interdependency between yourself and another at the spiritual and psychic and physical levels. Old heartbreak may need to be healed, ties with a past companion cut, or vows renegotiated. Prepare for open-hearted, intimate, unconditional love. Decide whether you want a soulmate with the soul lessons that implies, or a twin flame, a companion of your heart. You don't need anyone else to make you complete. A twin flame complements your wholeness, your own wholeness. All right, graphic quartz. Graphic smoky quartz. Yes, the stabilizer. Graphic smoky quartz supports all the structures in the body, removing toxic debris and traumatic memories. It keeps you grounded and balanced in physical incarnation while exploring other dimensions. Lack of trust in yourself and other people creates psychological barriers that lie at the heart of your dis-ease. Your self-esteem is low, creating a deficient immune system. Memories of old traumas have subtly amended your ancestral DNA. At a deep level, you have been compressed and limited. Allow yourself to expand again. Undertake a shamanic journey into the unseen worlds in search of healing. There you will find the underlying causes of dis-ease and outdated soul imperatives that are affecting your well-being. Offer yourself the gift of transformation. Healing is found in the darkest depths of yourself, not in external forces. I think both things have been communicated in this reading. Both cards have been communicated in this reading from different energies. One to heal the self, and one to deal with the connections from these karmic energies from people that we've dealt with. I can't go over it enough and enough and enough. I think I'm going to stop it here, Taurus. I hope that this reading was helpful for you. If it was, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And if you choose to donate, there's a link in the description box below. And I wish you positivity and good luck, because it seems like you're on that trajectory. You're in that direction. It's just reassessing and defining what we need to release and come into new energy in. So I hope it's all well. I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.